The 2018 Yamaha MT07 is an absolute amazing motorcycle. It's honestly perfect for anyone that is new to riding and maybe started off on a 300 and wants to kind of work their way up. I would definitely probably recommend this bike to really anyone who's interested in getting something that's has a lot of low end power, but maybe isn't like super fast in the top end. This bike tops out around like 135 miles per hour. The bottom end is super twitchy, so if you just get on that throttle and the low RPMs, it'll definitely want to come up all the time. But overall, it's a great motorcycle in my opinion. For this one in particular, we have some crash bars on it because it's been laid down a few times. Definitely recommend getting some crash bars or something just in case you do drop it. But overall, really kind of neat motorcycle. The suspension is pretty good. I will admit, it does have this small little chirping sound whenever you it probably just needs to have a little bit of like WD-40 or some oil or some grease, just rubbed up on the shock. But this one's pretty neat. It does have an integrated tail, so it does so your turn signals are located right here. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. It is 700 cc's, so it's it does sound super beefy. A lot deeper than your 600s, not as deep as probably your 1000s, but it's definitely super neat. This one does have an aftermarket exhaust on it, so it is going to sound a little bit different than stock. Super big beefy bike. I do like how the handlebars sit up pretty nice and tall. Does make for turning to be a lot easier. The only downside is you don't have too much turning radius compared to some other like supermotors or anything like that, because the handlebars do lock out right here and here. It is a 6-speed, so it does have does have 6 gears. There's not a lot of space in the passenger seat right here, so you don't have too much space. If you take this piece off right here, you have probably enough to store a phone or a small wallet. Definitely not like a purse or anything like that. The seat has always been super hard for me to get on too. I've always had problems trying to get it on, but there we go, went on decently easy. Overall, super good motorcycle for anyone that wants to get something that's fairly newer, and they're fairly cheap for for what kind of motorcycle that you end up getting. So good bang for your buck. It has the same motor as the new R7s. Yeah, I really just can't complain. So let me do just a small little test ride, and that way you guys can kind of get a feel for. It's time for the test ride on this 2018 Yamaha MT07. Let's check it out. Has plenty of power here in the low end, but now that I'm just kind of like getting on it and just kind of going back and forth, I have to avoid all that dirt right there just in case. But it has a good bit of power throughout the entire thing, throughout the entire power management system. The only time it gets a little bit weaker is here at the top of the RPMs. Anything really past 6,000 RPMs kind of starts to slow down and makes it feel more of a sluggish motorcycle. But anything below 6,000 RPMs, it's still super fun and wants to pull on you a good bit. But yeah, now that we're at the